Have you ever noticed that the smartest person in the room is usually the quietest one? The one who left the party early? That's not an accident. That's a pattern. And once you see why, you'll never look at being alone the same way again, because no one invited him, but because he chose this. He watches the group laugh together and feels no urge to join, while others chase connection. He quietly walks away from the noise, because his mind is loud enough on its own. He'd rather sit with his thoughts than perform small talk he doesn't mean. People whisper. They call him distant, strange, antisocial. But he's heard it all before, and it doesn't move him anymore, because somewhere along the way, he realized something most people never do. Being alone was never his weakness. It was where his mind came alive. So maybe the question was never why he's alone, but why everyone else is so afraid of it. Here's what most people miss. The brain of a deep thinker doesn't turn off in a crowd. It keeps working, processing, connecting ideas most people don't even notice, which is exactly why crowded rooms can feel less like connection and more like noise. Step outside that noise and something happens. The mind exhales. Small talk isn't relaxing for a mind like this. It's draining. A performance, not a rest. Later, alone again, he replays the conversation, wondering why it felt so heavy. But give him a book, an idea, a question worth chasing, and suddenly he's alive. So he stopped forcing himself to choose a crowd just to feel normal. He chose a path fewer people understand, but the one that actually fits him. And in that silence, he didn't feel empty. For the first time all day, he felt whole. So here's the real trade-off nobody talks about. It's not people versus no people. It's depth versus noise. And for a mind like this, depth always wins, even when it costs him company. So sometimes he tries. He leans in, asks a real question, something that actually matters to him, not because he's testing anyone. He's just hoping, quietly, that someone else wants to go there too. But more often than not, he gets a shrug, a surface-level answer, and something in him quietly closes the door a little more. And that's when it hits him. He was never avoiding people. He was avoiding shallow versions of connection. He wasn't lonely because he lacked people around him. He was lonely in rooms full of people who never really saw him. So he stopped chasing quantity. He started protecting his energy for conversations and people that actually deserved it. Real connection, like anything worth having, takes time to grow. You can't rush it. You can't force it. You can only give it room. And slowly, something changed. He wasn't hiding from people anymore. He was simply choosing them more carefully. Because true connection was never about talking constantly. Sometimes, it was just about being present with someone and letting the silence be enough. He didn't need everyone to understand him. He just needed a few people who did. And the quiet, in between, to hear himself think. Intelligent people don't avoid the world. They just refuse to lose themselves in it. So if you ever felt like the quiet one, the one who leaves early, the one who'd rather sit with a good thought than 100 empty words, you're not broken. You're just finally listening to the one voice that matters most. Your own. Privacy is the ultimate luxury. If you enjoyed this dive into the unseen, consider subscribing and joining the fracture. Stay observant. We'll see you in the next one.